Round three, we have lost a die roll, and we have a decent hand. I think this Champion of Wits is going to need to do some work. On the draw, it's a little bit slow, but with our opponent mulliganing, I'm happy enough to keep it. Either they're not going to be able to come out the guns blazing, or they're going to be a bit on the slow side. Inspiring Vantage Bomac Courier. Wow, is this the long absent Mardu vehicles, perhaps? That would be quite something. It's Mardu vehicles. Oh my goodness. This does not bode well. It's got the perfect start as well. Oh my goodness, that's a Malta 6. We haven't drawn a Fatal Push or a Braid. This is not good. We're in a bit of a weird spot as well because Marty's always been set up to prey on control decks, and we're sort of a control deck. There's our Braid, which is nice. But we're probably going to struggle here. I haven't seen a Mardu Vehicles deck played or in the 5-0 lists in months, not since I saw my lovely editor Steph playing it at GP Birmingham when red-black vehicles broke out and people learnt the hard way that Mardu had fallen behind and that red-black had the consistency while still having the power. So I don't know what this means our opponents have, because if they had an unlicensed disintegration, I think we'd seen it there. I think I'm just leaving up Vraska's Contempt here, on the basis that I think they have a Planeswalker of some description, whether it's a Chandra or a Khan. That seems like the most likely thing to have. And then hopefully we draw another cheap spell. Then we trade off the champion for the Scrap Heap Scrounger when that attacks, because they crew the Heart of Kieran with the Planeswalker. Or they've got an unlicensed disintegration anyway. Just have to take that. I'm surprised they didn't do that so they'd get in with their Bomac Courier. Okay. This doesn't look like they've got a Planeswalker at least. But we're still pretty far behind. Okay, they're not attacking with the Heart of Kieran, which is fine by me. Means I can contempt the Scrounger, which is nice to get an opportunity to do so. Yeah. Alright, so can we afford to do anything proactive here? I don't think we can. I think we need to be able to hold up a Braid here. And then we've got a Braid and cycle. So our opponent just drew a load of lands off their Bomac Courier. But this looks like a Khan. Or even worse, a Hazaret. So we have to cycle into Essence Scatter here. or Supreme Will. Which that is not. So we are dead if he can play the last card in his hand. Oh, he's just crewing. Good thing we didn't scoop there. Alright. We've been given an out. Our opponent could have just sacrificed the Branoc Courier. I think we should have just lost there because our opponent sacks the Branoc Courier before combat, has the one card from the Branoc Courier in their hand, and then can attack for 5 with the Hazaret. Oh no, we were on 6, weren't we? Okay, so they can't do that. Question is, what do we want to do? On the basis that I think we're flooding, I want to just reanimate a Champion of Wits and use that as a chump blocker. I think that's our best out. Hopefully we could draw into a Fatal Push. We cannot. It's possible we should keep one of those lands over the Liliana because the chances of them going after the Liliana are so small. A land lets Hazaret attack because they can play the land and then discard their last 2 cards. So yeah, Hazaret can attack as long as our opponent doesn't mess this up. And it's a Scrounger as well, so that means it's coming back. We've got 3 cards under this Branoc Courier. We're going to 2. We might just be dead. Oh yeah, of course we're dead. Alright, fair enough. Well, that was a wake-up call. So, we know our opponent can't support any Goblin Chain Whirlers, so Glintstone Siphon is probably alright. What I do want is the Abrade, obviously, because they're a creature removal deck. With Heart of Kiran's Negate on the play, I'm quite keen on, because it can get Heart of Kiran or any Planeswalkers they might be playing. Similarly, Search Counter might be quite good. And then we've got the Control Package as an option. Because they're likely a Chandra deck, I don't want Nicol Bolas. They also have access to Chandra's Defeat if they decide they want to bring those in. Doomfall seems pretty slow. And we just have to rely on Vraska's Contempt to answer the Hazarets. Well, the fact it hits Scrap Heap Scrounger is not irrelevant. So what cards are we considering? It's possible we want Expertise. Can you tell that I haven't thought about this matchup previously? I think I'm going to cut a Champion as well on the basis that it's a bit slow. We'll probably change this up on the play. I don't mind Doomfall, but it's kind of awkward. Let's go with 1 Doomfall, 1 Gearhulk, and the Essence Extraction. I suspect they're going to be heavier on Planeswalkers post-board, so I don't want to board in Johanni's Expertise, I think. let's go with that. This hand is pretty bad. We don't get to do anything on turn 2. And we don't have any removal, except for expensive ones, so I'm going to mulligan. I think our average 6 is better, and this I think is better because we get the negate. We're vulnerable to 1-drops, but that's the price you have to play sometimes. It's probably only Branoc Courier that we have to be worried about. Right, we want to draw some removal. We want our opponent to play Heart of Kiran, or an Argos Bloodfast or something random like that. Ugh, tap land. Alright, Fatal Push, please. Alright, I'll take Essence Extraction. The plan is to just slam Scarab God on turn 5. I'm going to pass here on the basis that we can probably get to Doomfall plus Negate in the same turn. And I think our opponent's got a Slow Planeswalker heavy hand. We're just going to pass here. I'm expecting our opponent to be presenting one relatively powerful threat this turn. Bleh. That's the complete opposite of what I was expecting. I have no idea what's going on anymore. I'm going to get the Search for Its counter into play and hope that this negate does something next turn. I think we need to be doing something. Hopefully our opponent goes like Chandra, Khan, Angrath, something like that. Something that takes up their whole turn and gets negated. I don't have a Heart of Kiran because they'd have played that pre-combat to trigger the Toolcraft Exemplar. History of Benalia? That's not what I was expecting. It does mean we're definitely bringing in the Henny's expertises. No, we're going to keep that. And I'm going to look at our opponent's hand. Fatal Push, the Toolcraft Exemplar. Oh, they've just got a pile of removal. Oh. Well, I'll just have work around that then. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this state of affairs. Yeah, our opponent's not going to play anything I care about more, so I might as well not take the 1 damage. No, that's fine. I'll keep that. I'm going to miss my land drop this turn, but I've got Contempt or Hieroglyphic Illumination as options. Scrounge is fine, we can use a Contempt on it. But I think I'm just going to Illumination this turn. Get closer to hitting our land drops. And searching for us counter, that's good, but not what I was hoping for. Okay, we'll put this Scarab God in the graveyard. Cool. Alright, we're definitely going to Vraska's Contempt something this turn. Scrounger is a good enough target. If our opponent's smart, they'll probably unlicense Disintegration their own Scrounger. And on that basis, I'm going to wait to see if they do anything else. Yeah. Okay, they took a damage there for no reason. Unless they... no, they do, but need to do it that way, so they keep the black up. But that's fine. I've still traded a card 1 for 1. We don't want to bin that because we're still hitting our land drop and transforming. So we've got 7 mana. Alright, I think we're pretty safe here. Just going to take 3. Alright, I'm going to just throw a Gearhulk at our opponent here. Throw this Vraska's Contempt at the Scrounger. Because we probably get this exiled and this gets disintegrationed, and our opponent's just given up. Okay, so I don't mind Negate now that we've seen Hestia Benalia. I don't like Doomfall. I do like Expertise. If our opponent's still got removal, it's possible I want to just cut the Linsleeve Siphoners and go full control. We've got plenty of answers to Heart of Kieran. It does just feel weird to be choosing to be a control deck against Mighty Vehicles, but I can't see Linsleeve Siphoner being good for us. And with Toolcraft Exemplar and Hestia Benalia in our deck, especially when they're on the draw, which is when they usually cut the Toolcraft Exemplars, I think we can be pretty confident our opponent's deck's on the slower side. The Duress is a hedge against Heart of Kieran's, and because I still don't want boluses in, although we haven't seen Chandra. I still think I'd rather have a Duress over a bolus. The chances of having Chandras is so high. Especially as we've seen they've got a lot of red sources in the deck, even though they're still playing History of Benalia. Maybe it's better than the Glimmers, because it's still a 2 for 1. Really not sure here. The fact our opponent's still got a License Disintegration is so bizarre. Well, I mean, we are a mid-range deck. Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards trying to minimize the impact of those until the game's almost won on our side. So I'm going to go with that. Oh, this is an interesting hand. On the draw, I think I can afford to keep this. We've got the Abrade. Any blue source, Champion of Wits does it. Yep, so I'm going to Dragon Skull Summit this turn, and then Etharb next turn. because that gives us the option of negate in case of History of Benalia. Although it looks like there's probably going to need to be an Abrade cast pretty soon. Oh dear, we are getting thoroughly Mardu vehicles. Because as everyone knows, when you play Mardu vehicles, your mana base is horrible, everything's uncastable, and when you play against Mardu vehicles, they curve out perfectly every time. Oh, we're getting duressed. Well, I am going to throw an Abrade at this Heart of Kieran. We're probably going to have the Contempt taken, I would guess. Yeah. And we're going to shove a Champion of Wits on the battlefield next turn. And we will use the energy because we don't need the energy for anything. I don't think we can keep Search for Counter here on the basis that we can't play it next turn and leave up Negate. So that means we're not playing it next turn. I think I want it. Unless we discard the Negate. Because we'll flip the Counter pretty quickly. Yeah, let's go with that. Our opponent's pretty clearly not got a History of Benalia at this point, otherwise it would have been played by now. We can get punished by Planeswalker, but we should have enough time to get to Torrential Gearhulk and then Vraska's Contempt. Unlicensed Disintegration. Doomfall, okay, fine. Right, our opponent's out of gas, so if we draw removal this turn, that'd be pretty great. We didn't though, because we're not very good at this game, clearly. Just have to hope our opponent doesn't draw anything too spectacular. Heart of Kieran is pretty spectacular. So I'm going to want a Fatal Push. Or some other removal spell. You know what? I will take Yohanni's Expertise. They'll sack it to get 2 cards, but I think we just have to hope that's good enough. And then hope this Torrential Gearhulk with a Vraska's Contempt can stabilise us. Yeah, you knew about the Gearhulk as well, so that was pretty keen. You must have something pretty good in hand. That's pretty good. Alright. Yeah. Oh my goodness! Ah, stupid mana base. We are dead. We are dead. That's really rather annoying. Let's hope our opponent chooses not to kill us. Well, they killed us. We got thoroughly Mardu'd there. Not something we'd built this deck to beat because it's been completely non-existent. And if it's going to curve out like that with Toolcrafts and Artikirans, it's going to be really hard to beat. Yeah, don't really know what to say about that one. It just got away from us. It's possible we're not supposed to keep the Search counter. I don't know. I'll have to rewatch that one myself, I think. Like, sweepers are always a bit awkward against a vehicles deck because they have things that don't die to them. But once you know they've got Toolcraft Example, Burmac Courier, Scrap Heap Scrounger, like presumably there are other creatures that die to it. We've seen the history of Benalia, and if we can get both the tokens, that's a pretty good deal. So I think Henny's Expertise is still good, and if we can Henny's Expertise and then a Braid or Artikir, it's fantastic. So yeah, might have to think about that one a bit more. Luckily, it's recorded, so I get to do that and get your feedback on it. So if you have any comments about what you did on differently, I really need to hear them. Either way, I'm going to move on to match 4 now, and I hope you join me there. See you in match 4.